I actually wasn't gonna make a video about this at all, but like Cariuma is just so weird, man. They're just weird. And like I wonder, did they even do any like research on their market before they started like investing into it and putting all this money and backing? Is what I really want to know. Okay, so though, look, the people here, four of them are sponsored um by Cariuma. Gustavo Ribeiro, Lucas, Kelvin Hoffler, and Jagger Eaton, all sponsored by Cariuma. So out of this, somehow everyone that went to the Supercrown this time is sponsored by Cariuma. I'm not saying this is fishy. I'm just mentioning it. I'm not saying that, not yet at least. And we go in, and Jagger, look, Jagger does do a stellar fucking line, and Jagger is really so good. It's kind of annoying. Like I don't. Honestly, I didn't want him to win. I'll be honest. It's not because the Carium is on his feet. It's because I really haven't seen him in that many contests, and all of a sudden he comes out and ends up qualifying for the Olympics and then wins third and goes on every talk show, every radio station. Ooh, I won third place. Ooh, I won third place. Dog, you didn't even win the Olympics. You came in third. Yuto smashed it, and we haven't even seen Yuto since. I don't know. I'm just being an asshole about it. It's just whatever. It's a great line. There's nothing I could take away from him. He completely deserves it. That was a great run. When I watched it the first time, I was like, I can't believe he hasn't fallen yet. But watching that run makes me wonder. I just want to go to the next run because the next run is one of the best runs I've ever seen as well. By Shane O'Neill. Tray up. Oh, not tray. Switch. Whatever. Switch. Backside lip slide. That's what I want to say. Crook ride, nollie kick flip. Switch tray. Nollie backside heel flip. Tray flip. Regular one. Back down. Now he's going switch. Switch tail slide. And then backside big spin. Great run. Didn't fall. Didn't even look sketchy. Which brings me to my next point. My true point. Is Shane O'Neill throwing? Is he throwing these competitions? Because to get into qualifiers, he did really well at pre-quals and everything. He did really well to get here. And I question if he's throwing. The only reason I say that is because, as you can see here, Shane O'Neill gets us to 9.5 and then doesn't land any of his tricks. He does one of the most consistent bolt lines I've ever fucking seen. An amazing line. And then 0, 0, 0. He was trying backside big spin, some type of blunt slide, but on his tail side. But I know it's not called a tail blunt slide or whatever that's called. It's called front side nose slide. Either way, it doesn't matter. My point is, he went for that trick 3 times and didn't make it. Why not change the trick? You have a crazy bag of tricks. An insane bag of tricks that no one else there has at a level of consistency that no one else there has. Shane O'Neill is easily one of the best, most consistent skaters on the fucking planet. And just one of the smartest skaters to me. And he still just kept going for the same trick. It's like I wonder if he wants to win. So then he's on his final try. He's on the final try. Coming back down. So now he's going switch. Switch double tray. Landed. No fucking problem. No one else can do that trick down that set. No one else can do that trick down that set. It only gets an 8, but even an 8 is a solid score when you're getting all zeros. It's just crazy to me. Just crazy to me. I'm not going to talk about the things I talked about past time with scoring and the format, all that. I already talked about that. I didn't want to talk about that again, which is why I wasn't going to make another video. But like watching that event and watching Shane O'Neill score 0-0-0, missing those tricks when he did that beautiful line, that amazing line, practically flawless, one of the best lines I've ever seen. All bolts, hitting every obstacle, going around the whole course, showing off his switch, showing off his nollie, flipping in, flipping out. And then he goes to do his best tricks and does the same trick 3 times in a row, even though he had that trick on the tuck. So it was planting a seed in my mind. I'm like, is he throwing? Does he even want to win? Is just what I'm truly wondering. And I understand that trick was only an 8, and the only reason they gave it an 8 is because they see that trick from Shane all the time and they know he has it down. I think it's ridiculous to score people less for a trick that they're really good at when they're the only ones that can fucking do it. But I already said I'm not going to mention anything about the scoring because I actually didn't think the scoring was that bad this time. I really didn't. I didn't think it was that bad this time. Alex Midler looked extremely under the weather. That's what they kept saying, and he did look under the weather, and he really couldn't land his shit. He was looking like X Games Midler again. I question if it's because he was drunk and partying or whatever, because we've seen that he's a partier. And he was a little short with one of the cameramen. They were like, he was trying to get to a spot and he was like, hey, watch out, move. But that's honestly, you're in a competition. I understand wanting the cameraman to move out the way. I get it. So I'm not really heavy on that. I just question if Alex Midler is truly how committed he is. Because when he's going, like, because he qualified going into, he was in second place qualifying in when he went to Utah, and then I think he came in third place at Utah. And this is only like the second SLS. That was the first SLS I had seen him in, actually. The second SLS was the next one that I saw him in, and he didn't do bad there either. He made it to finals. So I just think that's how I was feeling. I feel like if Midler can get out of his own way, look, if he was sick, then all right, I'm wrong. He was sick, but if he's drunk, if he's high, he doing that nose candy. That's a whole other issue, and that is a common problem in the skateboarding industry. And then my final, I'm going to wrap this back up at a Cariuma point again. 9.1, 9.2, 8.0. So if Shane had a 9.5 and he had an 8.0. So if Shane would have landed any other trick, he really could have been in contention for the top 4, which just puts together my point. Like, is he throwing? Is Shane O'Neill throwing? Anyway, is he sandbagging? Is Shane O'Neill really out here sandbagging? All right, I'm going to stop saying that. I'm done with that point. It's just, here we go. Eaton, Ribeiro, Houston. 3 of the 4 people who made it to the finals are sponsored by Cariuma. And Cariuma was one of the heavy sponsors for this. Was one of the heavy sponsors for this. Like, they literally had an ad, and I'll show the ad in a second because I have to show how cringe it is. They did an ad in the middle of the SLS, and it was super cringe. Monster's been sponsoring them since 2010. They never did a cringe ad like this. Monster's always selling out. I meant like out of the shelves, not like they're sellouts. I have no problem with Monster. Although I don't like the way it tastes, but I do appreciate everything they've done for the skateboarding community. And then the Niges, it's whatever. I couldn't even watch this. So then the podium, I want to get to the podium is what I really want to get to. Everyone on their podium is wearing a Cariuma shirt and Cariuma's on their feet. I mean, they're also wearing Red Bull, but Red Bull isn't the one sponsoring this event. Cariuma is. I just wanted to point that out. That it's just a little shady, little shady, little weird. That the one of the first events that Cariuma sponsors, all three of their people make it to the end. Now that's all I'm really gonna say about that, because quite honestly, everyone who's here, they all did really gnarly tricks and landed them, and they, to be completely honest, they really do deserve to be there. They did really well. I was hoping for Rebello to win or Ribeiro to win, the two on the bottom right there, or Nigel. I would have liked to see win this, but those two did really, really amazing. They did really, really great tricks, and this is their first Supercrown, so this is new to them. They did really, really, really well, I think, for their first time. And Jagger is Jagger, whatever. He's the hardened grilled contest skater sponsored by the Heart Supply boards. Another thing I want to say about the Heart Supply boards, I've seen people skate them, and they break very easily. They're Target quality boards. They're sold at Target, so that makes sense that they're Target quality boards. What board is he riding? Is what I wonder. Because he can't be riding the same shit that he's asking other people to buy. Because if he did half those tricks on a real Heart Supply board, those shits would have broke. Snapped in half. I've watched people ride some fucking Heart Supply boards. So I'm truly curious about what he's riding and what he's telling people to buy versus what he's actually doing. Anyway, I want to move on to the Cringe. We'll end on some Cringe if I can find it.
They are just so amazing. You know, I've been doing this a long time. I'm really glad, really blessed to have come up when I did and participate in the birth of street skating. But the evolution of street skating just continues to blow me away. It's sort of the natural evolution, but at the same time, the technical abilities and the consistency with which today's skaters skate is something that's just so hard to even relate to.
It's truly unreal.
Yeah.
Now, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I've been running a skateboard company called Street Plant. My wife and I do that together. We run it out of our house. We've been doing that for 6 years and just basically shipping skateboards all over the world.
That's awesome. And you got things going with Cariuma now. You got a brand new pro shoe coming out. Talk us through this shoe.
Well, I have it right here. Really stoked about this, man. It's I feel like we've really come up with a great shoe. Lots of unique things going on here. We have a vegan suede that's proprietary to Cariuma, and they've been developing that for a year and a half, and it's 2.5 times more resistant than animal suede, and that makes the shoe much more durable and much more sustainable.
Awesome. And you got the rubber toe cap, and then you got this canvas kind of material.
Yeah, it's like a polyester webbing, which is 3 times more resistant than canvas, and I think overall, I mean, aesthetically, I really went for a modern profile, you know, like a modern skate shoe. But the view looking down is aesthetically supposed to look like a basketball shoe, because that's the kind of shoes I wore when I was coming up in the 80s, and I always liked that style. So that's something we went for. You can see there.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Mike. We sincerely appreciate you being here.
And then immediately they put the fucking Cariuma logo. Dog. Look, the beginning with Mike V wasn't the bad, but the end, that commercial that they just fucking put in the middle of SLS, do they think that that's how they're going to get the skaters? Do they think that that's what's going to make skaters purchase their shoes? That's what I'm just like, do they do any market research to see how fucking elitist skaters are? And then they decide that the best way to sell their product is to just put it and plaster it every fucking where. And if it's selling and it's working for them, that's good. But it just really comes off as corny, is what it honestly comes off on. And this is no diss to Mike Vallely, because I love Mike Vallely. He's a real cool dude, and he has done a lot for skateboarding. He was the one who invented that whole popsicle shape that everybody rides now with this Animal Farm board, or Animal House, or Animal Farm. I forgot the name of the board, but he's the one who popularized all that shape, which Rodney Mullen then advanced and literally did everything else with street skateboarding. So, and like, I don't even know if Vallely can kickflip. Well, no, that's true. I know he can kickflip, but he's more like a hand plant, like sort of like freestyle ground type thing. Not even really freestyle skating. His skating is actually pretty interesting and completely different. But anyway, my point was just that commercial was cringe to put in the middle of a SLS like that. You've never seen Monster do it, and they've been sponsoring these events since 2010 as well. That's it. That's all I really wanted to say about this. Congratulations to Jagger. I wasn't rooting for you, but you did a great job.
How much money would someone have to pay you to ride Cariumas?
Are they free?
Yeah, you're getting them for free, but you got to walk around in them.
Oh shit,
People
walk
have
around
to-
in them?
people have to
Fuck.
see you in those
Okay,
shit.
$8 grand. Just all the Cariuma ads in every single barracks video, it's getting too much.
You know how to stop seeing them?
How?
Stop watching
the
barracks
barracks.
videos.
I'd never wear Cariuma.
Probably like $1,000. Look, that's rent money. Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Like a couple of rags, shit. Like
A lifetime supply of something. And not the shoes.
What the fuck's that brand?